This will be the breakdown for Zechariah. The name means Jehovah remembers. It's got 14 chapters, 211 verses, around 6,444 words. Historical time is 520 BC to 487 BC. Historically, Zechariah encourages the remnant to keep building the temple. Him and Haggai around the same time period there, doing the same type of thing. Doctrinally, the Lord will return to dwell in the newly rebuilt temple in Jerusalem. That's your doctrinal view, your prophetical view. Inspirationally, you never stop building. The Lord will always keep working on you. That's what you can get from this. Now, chapter 1, Zechariah has 10 visions in one night. And in chapters 1 through 6, he's got 10 visions that he has in one night. In chapter 1, we see riders under myrtle trees, the four horns, the fourth smiths, the prophecies of Jerusalem at the end of the church age. Chapter 2, you got the man with the measuring line. You got prophecies concerning Jerusalem at the second coming. Chapter 3, you got Joshua and Satan. Not the Joshua from the book of Joshua. And you got imputed righteousness to the nation of Israel and the branch. Chapter 4, you got the lampstand and 2 olive trees. You got the prophecy of the 2 witnesses. Chapter 5, you got devilish activity. It talks about the devilish activity during the tribulation. It's got that flying object. It's got those 2, those winged female spirits that are unclean spirits. You got chapter 6, the 4 chariots vision. Chapter 7, you got the proper purposes for fasting. Chapter 8, you got the restoration of Israel. Chapter 9, you got judgment on Israel's enemies. Chapter 10, you're going to see some second coming prophecies. Chapter 11, you got that Antichrist prophecy. Chapter 12, you got the Battle of Armageddon. Chapter 13, you got idolatry and false prophesying seas during the millennium. Chapter 4, you got more on the millennium. And Zechariah is just a book full of prophecy. You got got all types of prophecies on the Antichrist. Zechariah 11, 15 through 17. You got a prophecy on Armageddon, chapter 14, 1 through 3. The conversion of Israel, 12, 9 through 14. Christ's return to Olivet, 14, 4 through 11. Prophecy about old age in Jerusalem, 3 through 8. Chapter 8, verses 3 through 8. And Feast of Tabernacles, 14, 16 through 21. Just really great book. All types of prophecies and interesting stuff in there. It's kind of a hard book to understand at times, but definitely worth the read. Maybe this little outline will help you get into it. Maybe you could copy it somewhere in your notes or something. That's just what I have. These just little things that help me remember what's in the chapter, what the chapter's about. And then, like I say, I go through and I'll write it at the beginning of each chapter. You know, chapter 2, prophecies concerning Jerusalem at the second coming, things like that. You know, and then when your pastor something says turn to it, he says, turn to Zechariah chapter 2. You know, if your pastor preaches out of Zechariah, and well, chapter 2, that's about prophecies concerning Jerusalem at the second coming. So you know what it's about before he really even gets into it. But maybe this will help somebody out there.